Boom. What's up, everybody? Master of all things here, back at it again with another video. Now, I know I did say I was going to release a video during the week. I lied. I just didn't do that. But now I'm going to make a video. So let's get on to it. This is fights to make after UFC Perth. This is really all the main event, honestly. I didn't really feel like doing the prelims. Just because I didn't really want to. And I thought it was going to be more enjoyable if I thought about the main event. Because it actually has fighters that I want. And I have a sneak. And I have an ending to this that you might see. All right, so let's get on. I'm not gonna say his name. I forgot his name. Rikishi, I believe his name is. He had a really good performance. I think he knocked the guy out in the first round, like in a couple minutes. It was really good, especially his fight. This and his fight with Harry Hardwick was pretty entertaining. And I feel like he needs one or two more wins for our rankings. And I thought the perfect guy, in my opinion, was Andre Philly. He had a really good fight the last time he fought, and he's pretty much always entertaining. He's always they're always standing and banging. I think this fight would be another banger in a like later in the year, maybe a MSG card. Wait, I think that's happening now. I don't know, whatever time when it's Philly or New Jersey or MSG. I feel like that would be a really good card because I really be really good for that card just because how much stacked MSG usually is. And this is a pretty good card to get people entertained in the early or late prelims. I think this will be a good fight. And I was thinking this or C Rod, Christian Rodriguez, but he has a fight turning up, and I don't think he's gonna. I don't know if he's bantamweight or featherweight. I'm because I know he beat Raul Rosas Jr., but I don't know if he stayed at bantamweight or is now at featherweight. But yeah, on to the next guy, Tim Elliott. Um, Not a bad performance. It's just that he got figured out by Steve Ercik, and his style really is like you gotta kind of finish him before you tire out type style. He doesn't deserve it, but I do think the UFC is gonna try to make this guy bounce back after his last two fights weren't that good, and they're always in the market for this specific demographic. Brandon Moreno. I think they're gonna feed him to Brandon Moreno. I think this is a pretty easy fight for Brandon Moreno. They're gonna give him Tim Elliott just because I know they want that Mexican market back. I know the stock for some of the Mexicans aren't like the highest one right now is Valentina or not Valentina Alexa Grasso, so they might main event her or maybe a co-main event. But Brandon Moreno right now lost twice. I think he's like 1-5 in his Mexican main events. Every time he's in the UFC, he's like in a Mexico main event or just in Mexico. The only person he beat was Steve Ercik, but the rest he either lost or just lost. I think they're gonna feed him Tim Elliott just because he's still pretty decent. Like even at his age, it's still pretty good. But I was thinking this or maybe Charles Johnson. That's a one, but I think they might give Charles Johnson a much higher rankings, or maybe Tim Elliott. But I feel like knowing the UFC, they might just feed him Brandon Moreno, so Brandon Moreno could get like a step back in competition type fight. So yeah, pretty. I feel like it makes sense knowing the UFC and how dumb they are sometimes. So let's get on to the next one. Steve Ercik. This is a new Steve Ercik, a scary Steve Ercik. Now he has a beard. Now he says curse words. He doesn't respect his opponent. Now I think he had a really good performance against Tim Elliott. I think he was always like as soon as the third round started, you could tell Tim Elliott was tired. I know the second round he won, but the third round was so obvious that he was tired because he kept landing his jab. He could put in pressure, finding the right shots, almost putting him out, I believe, in the third round. So it was an amazing fight for Steve Ercik and how his performance was. And for his next one, I do believe he should get a top, not top five, top 10, almost like like six or five around that range. And I brought two. Is Amir Balzi? Damn, his head look, his head shape is mad weird. I kind of just realized, but Amir Balzi or Brandon Royval, I feel like they're pretty good fights. Against him, I feel like he is really good. They're both not knockout artists. So like Kai Kara France is really like reliant on his knockout. They're both not going to be there, and he has really good technique against both of them to make it a war. So this is, I feel like this could be a really good also main event, and like the if it's like if I could talk, if it's against Brandon Royval, I could see it being like a crowded co-main event, or I know it's probably gonna be like a Apex main event. I feel like that could happen, even though I wouldn't understand why. And Amir Albalzi, I feel like it would be a really good co-main event to any fight, honestly. I think C Versick does kind of deserve it. Bro fought Ode Osborne up a weight class on short notice. I feel like C Versick does deserve this type of fight, especially which he fought Pantoja on short notice. Then he fought what was it Brandon Moreno on short notice, and now he won his last two fights. The other ones are kind of they don't really need to fight him down. Manel Cap is fighting Horiguchi. Horiguchi's fighting him. Leonard Cavanaugh might fight Brandon Royval. That's why I put Amir Albazi. And Brandon Moreno, like I said, they already fought, so I don't think they wouldn't give him a really quick rematch, especially when it wasn't even like more than a year. Actually, it was more than a year, but it's still quick. And obviously, Tatsuro Taira fighting next, and yeah, I feel like these two fights make sense for C Versick up in the rankings. I could see him fighting someone else like a little bit up, but I really do think they might just give him that. I think Amir Albazi is like 7 or 8, so I feel like it's a pretty good step up and step up in direction for C Versick, especially with the last two performances. This one was really good compared to Ode Osborne. This was like night and day. I feel like because with Ode he was low key like fighting for his life in the last two rounds after he got after he got clipped in the first round, but this one the last one he did really good. So I do think he deserves this. On to the next guy, Beneil Dariush. Now, unfortunately, the title run has just stopped. You know, Quillen Salkid just stripped him of his title run, and nah, I'm just not gonna be honest, bro. You need to retire, son. You need to retire. There's nothing in this day and age right now for Beneil Dariush to keep going on and losing, getting knocked out, getting brutally finished. It's just bad for his health. Is like he might accumulate CTE this early on. It took other people years. It's taking this guy Beneil like every fight to get it, because how easy it is to get knocked out. Like it's just crazy to think like, bro, like he is. I can't tell if this is just worse with than Tony Ferguson, because at least with Tony, like he never got knocked out. He like maybe like he got submitted, or at least just like I feel like it wasn't as bad as like it was bad in terms of the streak, but like his actual fights weren't like really that bad. It's just that like okay, you knew it's gonna be like a 30-27 or 29, no, like just like a easy 30-27. But with Beneil Dariush, he's just getting knocked out with one shot. It's just not, especially the grappling when he tried to do with Cullen. He just couldn't do anything. Like literally, I think he took him down for less than a second. Then he got back up, try to like hold on, try to clinch him, hold on to the cage, grapple him, and nothing worked. And he clipped him once with a really good strike, but then it really didn't do anything after, because he went to the takedown, didn't do anything, and as soon as Quillen got out of it, the clinch, he knocked him out in like under 3 minutes. And so it kind of shows that like even with the new guards, it just doesn't work. Though I feel like the only other fight, I think he's out of the rankings. He's probably gonna be out of the rankings now, or be like 15 or 14. Maybe Michael Johnson, maybe Alexander Hernandez, or the guy he lost to, or the guy. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another guy that I'm trying to think of. The guy Drew Dober, the old guys. I can really think, but like at this point in time, I feel like if you're not gonna you might as well retire, bro. You like, I feel like he doesn't have another chance for the title run. Everyone beats him. Even if that BSD fight went to the distance, he would have lost. He's not gonna out grapple BSD. He wouldn't have outstriked them. I don't know. I just wouldn't want to see him get knocked out every time, especially badly, because he's always like, it's always like a shot to the chin or to the head, and he gets colded out cold for like a second. Then he tries to wake up, and then they keep hitting him, and then he constantly gets out. And then he's always like, bro, what? why'd you stop the fight? And then like, bro, like you were knocked out, like you're cooked. You like I don't know. I feel bad for New Darius. Like he just needs to retire. Like this is low key like sad. This is worse than the other guy that we're gonna talk to at the end of the video. But right now, you just gotta retire, son. Now on to the next guy. The winner, Quillen Kid, has a really great performance against Beneil Darius. Showed his takedown defense really good. Like literally everything that Beneil Darius tried to do against trying to take him down or grappling him, Quillen just had every answer. He had everything to do. Like to, and then as soon as he got out of the clinch, he knocked him out. He has really good striking. He has really good takedowns. He has really good takedown defense. He can submit you. He can knock you out. He can really do everything. And he's only like 20, like mid almost late 20s. So that's pretty good, really. I forgot. And he called out Gamrot, and Gamrot agreed. So I think you just give him Gamrot. I know it's a really quick up in competition, but I feel like if both fighters pretty much agree, like you might as well just give him it, especially when they're both pretty hot right now. Gamrot just submitted the I forgot the guy's name, and then Quillen just is really in a hot streak. I think every fight in the UFC except one went to like submission or KO. I feel like with either of them they get really good hyped up. With Gamrot, he could finally get some hype. I feel like even that submission really didn't give him any much hype, in my opinion. But I feel like if he wins a decision or even submits Quillen, I feel like that could really give him some hype. And if with Quillen, if he beats Gamrot in a second ranked fight, that's a really good opponent. Like Gamrot isn't bad at all. So if he would win against him, he could really like fight for the top 5 already for his, like pretty much hella quick. I think this is like his second, third year in the UFC, and he's already like if he beats Gamrot, he could fight for the #1 contender. That would be really good. Oh, little West strike, but that would be really good. So I think this is a pretty easy fight to make. They both made it. You can make this. Since it's pretty quick, you can low-key make this like September, October. Pretty good turnaround for both of them, especially because again Quillen took almost no damage. That little clip really is not going to do anything. They clinched, and as soon as they got out of the clinch, he was the only one attacking. So I really do think it's a really quick turnaround. But since he took no damage, he can make that turnaround. I don't think it would be that difficult. And Gamrot already fought earlier. I forgot what fight. I think it was a BMF fight. I forgot, but that or it was a Yuri versus. Oh yeah, it was a Yuri versus Oberg one he fought. So that's a couple like a week or two ago, or 3. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. So that's pretty much good timing for both of them. I feel like 3 months that could be good enough for both of them. And yeah, I think this would be a good fight, honestly. Both standing and on the ground to test, because this would really test Quillen's takedown defense and his grappling. Because the only one that's really matching him is Gamrot for his Charles Oliveira and Armin Sarukian. Obviously Islam, but they didn't fight. But I think if he could defend it and win a decision against Gamrot, I feel like that would be really good for his career. And like now people are gonna look at him like, okay, if Gamrot is like barely taking him down, or like he couldn't take him down for a win, like that's pretty much scary. That's scary, especially because he's only in his mid-20s. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good matchup. On to the next guy. A little rant, not even a rant, just a little discussion. JDM, the main event. Now I'm gonna pour one out for my boy JDM. I'm imaginary whiskey for my JDM. Now, he did lose to Carlos Prates, unfortunately. He lost by TKO. I'm surprised. There's a lot of people I feel like right now are losing like a lot to leg kicks now. Not like losing, but like getting really damaged to leg kicks. And before him, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like before, like a couple years ago, like it was like leg kicks were more often, but I feel like I wouldn't see leg kick TKOs more than like now, or like people visibly like hurting during leg kicks. But yeah, JDM got hurt by a lot of leg kicks. I don't know why. I guess because he's in the southpaw, so his lead leg is always gonna get hit by a leg kick, and like he's just not comfortable switching stances as much as southpaw. So when he did try, like he just literally automatically went back to his original stance, so it didn't even matter at the end. I hate fans because they call him overrated. They're like, oh, you really believe in JDM, but at the same time, when Carlos Prates fights him, they're gonna be like, But you saw what he did to JDM, right? Like, you cannot make fun of JDM. You can't. You're making fun of his win if you're calling him overrated or just not good. So it's either a good win by protest or a bad win by protest. So like I hate people like that. I was seeing comments. He was like, y'all really thought JDM was gonna win, or y'all really thought he's overrated. I'm like, so protest win isn't good then, right? If he's overrated, or if he wasn't that good, then why do we react to protest win then? No, because it is a good win. It's a really good win. He shut down JDM. That's a really good win. Like, you can't say you can't dismiss JDM while trying to praise protest, because that's his best win by far. The what You could say Leon Edwards because he has more accolades, but right now it's JDM, bro. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You could say JDM as Leon Edwards as a resume, but at that time, JDM is a better fighter than Leon Edwards. This is his best win because of how he came into the fight. Like, obviously he lost, but he lost to Islam Makhachev. Like, obvious Carlos Protez is gonna lose to Islam Makhachev. I know people are saying, bro, he only got taken down because he wasn't expecting it. He's gonna get taken down either way. They don't fight the same way. JDM was trying to counterattack Protez, and when he couldn't, he just kept being a punching bag. Islam Makhachev is not gonna just counterattack every single time. He's just gonna like fake out takedowns or hit him. He's leg kicks. He's not like, he can actually do stuff, unlike JDM. That because JDM is like pure boxer. He's not good as takedown. So it's kind of easy for Carlos Prates to see what he was doing. Islam is not gonna do that. Like, Islam is not just gonna counterattack every time. He actually tries to initiate contact, or he's gonna definitely pressure him. People are like, oh, he can knee up. Like, they didn't do that. JDM didn't do that. He did it to Gilbert Burns. He never did it to Islam. He never needed Islam. So obviously Carlos Pratt, and plus JDM is always dipping. That's why the knee came up so good. It's because he's dipping every time. Obviously that knee is always gonna show up. But for Islam Makhachev, he never dips. He's never leading side to side. Like, that knee is not gonna come by easily as it did to the JDM. But little rant because of the Carlos Prates fans. I think JDM, he lost to Carlos Prates, and the only loss Carlos Prates has is Ian Gary. So it's not a bad loss at all. Like, you're losing to top tier competition. Islam Makhachev and Carlos Prates. Come on, bro. Carlos Prates is now going to be 1 or 2. So yeah, and I think the next fight he should get is the winner of Brady versus Buckley. I think this would be pretty good. Buckley literally lost to Michael Morales. I was about to say Miles Morales. Michael Morales, just because Brady was the number one at the time, and when he lost, he went back to like number 6. That does not make sense at all. But yeah, he went back to number 6, and then walking Buckley. I don't know how he's fighting up. It doesn't really make sense, but he's fighting up against Brady, and I think this will be pretty good. This is gonna be a really good fight. If either of them wins, or because Buckley, I don't know. I feel like he could TKO Brady, but I feel like Buckley, will kind of be a harder matchup because the way he moves and stuff. So I could see JDM having a little bit of trouble. But I feel like this both of these fights are both winnable. I feel like he takes a little bit of a break, especially with the damage he took. Like, JDM took a lot of damage with his with elbows, knees, the leg kick. So he needs to take a lot of time off. Maybe until next year. I can see that, honestly. Like early next year, or maybe even December, November. I could see him coming back around that time. And since these guys are fighting this week, uh, it could perfectly match up with the timeline of fighting like the end of the year. Uh, but yeah, what if one of these two wins? They fight JDM, and it's like right at the title. But it's gonna be kind of hard I think either one of them would have to fight the loser of the title, like Ian Gary or whatever. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. I think this, again, like I said, both winnable for JDM. I feel like none of them are too good at anything. Like, Brady has really good takedowns, but as soon as you take it down, like, his stand up isn't really that good. I'm almost saying Miles Morales, but Michael Morales like easily like hits him. But like that's kind of different because how tall, fucking muscular he is. But at the same time, it could still kind of show that at the same time, like if like you take away the takedowns, like Sean Brady isn't really as good as a stand up as he is with JDM. He was only good against Leon Edwards because how much Leon Edwards just froze up. So I'm not really like counting that. But yeah, I think this would be a really good fight for JDM. Both winnable, both gets him in the win column. Both then he could fight a lot of other people. But yeah, hopefully, hopefully he takes the time he needs, doesn't rush back, and yeah, on to the next guy, on to the main event, the main winner, Carlos Prates. Really good performance, really great performance. His best win by far. Again, you could argue Leon Edwards, but I do think the that Leon Edwards that showed up is way worse than the JDM that came, in my opinion. Like JDM just lost to, obviously it was still pretty, like his performance was bad, but it's still against Islam Makhachev. It's not really that bad. And against Sean Brady with Leon Edwards, he lost badly, got submitted. Leon Edwards just froze up, got scared. I feel like if you compare the versions now, JDM was a better win. But obviously, resume wise, Leon Edwards would be a better resume. But I'm not counting resumes. But really great performance, and I think it's kind of obvious. I think he should fight the winner of Ian Gary versus Islam Makhachev, and I think they're gonna have Michael Morales versus Usman. Probably, I think probably summer. I think they're gonna release it. I think they're gonna announce it later this week or like maybe next week, and they're gonna have them fighting. Maybe I can see them a co-main event, or fight night main event. I could really see that in like Atlanta or some shit. I feel like that would also like where Joaquin Buckley fought Usman. I could see them fighting there. So at that time, I think they said Islam's gonna fight in August. It's not confirmed, or July. I forgot. But yeah, that's a pretty good timeline, and then Islam could fight early next year. That's like 4 months. So that's really no excuse to like wait that long. If obviously he wins, if he and Gary wins, I feel like they're gonna fight like they said in Brazil. I think I think it's a good fight for both of them because how long and lanky he is, but he's not as, I feel like, not as muscular as it is as Islam, and but he has, again, he's kind of showed against Ian Gary his good takedown defense, his good striking. But at the same time, I do think just Islam Makhachev is gonna like force like is just gonna force the takedowns way more harder than Ian Gary or Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards had him in his back, so, and it's kind of obvious that Leon Edwards was gonna grapple. But I feel like if Leon Edwards has it, I feel like Islam Makhachev is gonna do worse, in my opinion. And we haven't really seen once Carlos Prates is actually down, his way of getting back up. So having someone like Islam, who's always gonna be on your back, half guard, like on bottom or on top, it's like we never seen Carlos Prates on those positions. So like yes, he's probably training for him, but it's not gonna be any like in a real fight. He's never been in it. Like Ian Gary only took him down, but it really didn't really do anything with it. So I think it would be a really good fight for either of them. And then the rematch, I feel like that would be a really good rematch, especially because how close the fourth and fifth round he was doing good at. So I do think when once the winner of this happens, Carlos Prates can take the opportunity, and then after that, whoever wins that, Michael Morales can fight the winner. It's pretty good, pretty good. And for a little sweet treat, Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa. Now, I was gonna say, I said earlier, I was thinking of putting Tai Tuivasa on the like the early slides and then just put in retirement. But I also got one person. I got one last shot for him to win, one last person to beat, or maybe one last person to lose. Now this guy also isn't that good. Also didn't deserve to be in the rankings, and might even be cut after this loss. But there's no way he can lose this fight. Honestly, I can still find a way for him to lose this fight. But I think the one and only guy who he may be able to beat Shamil the Blob Gaziev. I really think this is his last chance for either. I think this is literally either of them. Like both of them, if they both lose, they both. I feel like even they're both gonna get cut. I don't know. This is I don't know how you I don't know how Taito Iwasa loses that fight. Shamil Gaziev is like just didn't even deserve to be in the ranking spot. So I don't even know. Like he's losing to competition that he should have been. He shouldn't even been versing. And yeah, that's literally it. That Tuivasa is so trash. I'm sorry, bro. You're just not good. I don't know. Like this guy. The fact that he's so bad, the crowd has to erupt every time he gets back from a takedown, or even looks like he's getting back up. Just for him to next round to be tired. Like, what does the guy do in the last 3 years since his fight with Rosen? I forgot the guy who they cut. They cut him. What has he been doing since then? He lost weight, apparently got skinnier, but has no cardio to show it. Like what are we doing? Just this is literally the last fight I can really think of because they're both now unranked. I know Tai Tuivasa. I don't even know if he has a market for him right now. Like the only thing that's going for him is the Shui, but he hasn't done that since like 2023. Like that's 2022 was the last win probably against I think Derek Lewis. Then he fought for the interim or the like I don't know if it was the interim or the number one contender. Like I don't 2023, 2022, 2024 those years. So it's either been three like let me search this up right now. I'm sorry. Let me search this up right now. His last win because I really want like to let you know how bad he has it. 2022. So 4 years was his last win. 4 years was his shoey. 4 years since people cared about Tai Tuivasa. He's 33. That's actually pretty young, like for a heavyweight. But he's so bad that like, bro, you need to retire. Like, yeah, like you can't even stay up to your early, mid, late 40s. If you don't retire, you're dead ass. Just like you're literally like lost. I think either way. I think like the UFC is kind of like the next fight would be his last fight, or he might even like just get like I think they might just release him either way. Like I know UFC fighter. I know UFC is like just releasing some people now. I wouldn't be surprised if they just release him or they give him one final, like literally like, all right, bro, this is your final fight. We're not giving you any more fights after this, and they give him Shamil because they both kind of suck. So this is like literally this is the last chance I could really think of because how bad Tai Tuivasa is, and it's kind of scary how bad he was then and now. It's terrifying how bad he is now. Like I don't know. It's just his striking has clearly gotten worse. I don't know how that happens. His takedown defense, getting back up, has just gotten criminally worse. He's losing to people like he's lost. I don't know. I don't know. Like this is unexcusable for someone. For someone, this is worse than Tony Ferguson. Like this is literally worse than Tony Ferguson. You can argue with me, but I feel like it's clearly obvious. Like I feel like it's clearly obvious. Like this is worse than Tony Ferguson. I think they're both in the same streak, right? They both lost 7 in a row, or maybe Tony was 9 or 8. But damn, bro, I don't know. I don't know what you do with him. At least Tony Ferguson showed like, bro, he was clearly like, he's like you could clearly tell in the head like, Tony shouldn't be in the ring. But bro, Tai Tuivasa has no like has the same personality, hasn't changed really that bit. He gotten fitter. So how are you losing to these people? You're losing to like Glover Teixeira. Not even what's his name. Talishin Teixeira. He sucks. He's gonna get knocked out by Sergey Pavlovich. Like he sucks. Like you're losing to him, and you got tired out in the second and third round just by getting up. Now you get grappled down, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I woke up at I think it happened at like 7. I didn't really wake up like I just before it. I just woke up, but like bro, as soon like I was watching that, and then like the third round, I'm like, okay, maybe he has something. Then he got taken down. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just hop off and I'm gonna just get off and take a nap before the other actual good fights happen. Then I look at my fucking UFC Google and it says, yeah, by unanimous. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what you do. You like at this point, I don't know. I don't know. Like Junior Tafa has a win before this guy. Like that's crazy. Junior Tafa somehow managed to get a win before this guy managed to even sniff a win. He's never been close to getting a win. I think Talishan Share was the closest, but even then, I wouldn't even count that as close. It's just they were both tired. Neither of them could like even fight each other. They literally were having a heart attack in ring. So yeah, I think Shamil Gaziev is literally the last person, or they could rematch that one guy that they were trying to get him like before he got out, and then they brought in the Smotherman or whatever his name is. So maybe they might give him again, but bro, either this or retire. Like you really like I don't know. This is worse. This is maybe this is worse than Beneil Dariush too, because at least Beneil Dariush is losing to uppercomers. Obviously, if he keeps losing, it's gonna have like obviously, but like he at least beat Moicano somehow. So like he beat Mark. He has a win. He has a win in these couple years. This guy doesn't. He's on a streak. He's on more than like 3. I'm sorry, bro. You're a seven losing streak, bro. You gotta retire. Join BKFC. Join MVP's boxing league or whatever. Join Zuffa. Do something else. MMA is not it anymore. But that's it. That's all I'm gonna say, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I know I said I was gonna post something. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna just stop making promises. I think that like posts are definitely gonna be up in the weekend, but just in the weekdays, I'm gonna stop promising them and just like I'd hope to make 3 days a week, but most likely the max I could do is like 2, because of how much work I'm doing, how much like behind the scenes in my like personal life I kind of have. So it's kind of hard, but that's really it, guys. Again, I'll try to make a video at least by Wednesday, Thursday, but it's not at this point. It's not 100%. I don't want to just keep lying and saying there's a video just for me not to release a video. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.